Yes, I do want to start recording. I do. Come on now. Boy, I am way late. I'm way late. I'm still early. Yeah, I am's. You don't even know what today holds. It's going to blow your mind. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for this day to be done. My 1 minute. Cancel. Reset. Stop. Reset. 1 minute. Go. And the main reason I've got a quantitative analysis business exam this morning that I have to take a couple hours after I finish up today. So I've basically just been training and studying, training and studying, training and studying. And I feel like I've got a year's worth of stuff to do in a matter of a few days. So let's see what happens, man. Get my tea. Mm. Oh, love it. I feel like I'm thinning out. You guys feel it? Make sure my wooter works. Does my wooter work? Oh, she's working. Uh-oh. Well, you guys know what that alarm means. That alarm means we're live. We're live. We're live on this amazing Wednesday, May 27th. It is 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, and today is our daily briefing. Welcome, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. All right, Justin, good to see you, my friend. Everything good, I'm assuming? Mm-mm-mm. We all know the first and most important thing we do every day as a team of Venti shop owners is the morning mark. Ah, thank you, sir. We know why you're here because here's the deal. There's no props required, no drinks, no gear. It's just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it don't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not three, just one. Now, mark it mentally and write it. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. That's the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. All right, my business builders, you drive, I dive, buckle up, buttercups, and let's roll. Let's roll. Yes, Justin. Thank you, sir. Wow. You have no idea what is going on in this day in history. You guys know we start every show with this day in history. But before we do that, what do you guys think of the new shirts for the third annual Cross Free Charity Bike Ride? You guys like it? It's you guys know every day it's a different themed color, right? All aboard. David, my bro. I got a couple more days and then I am on the road and I'll be doing this darn show every day on the road. And me and Justin will be tearing this thing up. Oh my gosh. This day in history. Okay. All right. It's insane. Okay. The first thing, um, gosh, you gotta be kidding me right now. Okay, so here's kind of the top stories, right? One, NFIB launches urgent campaign to block uncapped minimum wage mandate. What in the rizzle is going on here, man? Advocacy groups formally initiated a massive media and digital campaign warning against State Question 832. I was reading about that they're wanting to raise minimum wage to $17 an hour. And again, for bigger companies, they can absorb that because all they have to do is charge an extra 3 cents, for a cup of coffee, another nickel for a hamburger, no big deal. But for us, mom and pop venti shops, it puts us in we can't survive that. And that's what you're seeing every single time a state or federally, they adjust the minimum wage rate, immediately it puts a certain amount of small business out of business immediately. And people don't understand how the economies work, because when you don't have a lot of locations, you don't have any, um, you you don't have the ability to absorb that cost, and it really affects us. So, if your idea and your goal was to have like just the best, coffee shop in town, and that was it. You didn't want to be this big conglomerate. You wanted to be this big fortune company. You just wanted to be the best coffee shop in town. It's not if, but when you go out of business, because you won't be able to compete with the big boys as the standards of living and prices and inflation continue to rise. Right. So it seems great, but in the end, it always, because you have to understand businesses, no matter what, are going to raise their prices. So the reason why everything costs more, because we raise minimum wage, which means everybody has to adjust their pricing, and then we increase the standard wage again, and then we have to increase our pricing. This is inflation. It's the primary reason why things are more expensive. It's a main reason why China has intentionally manufactured a low standard of rate living. Their entire system is based off of a system that is 1/10 the cost of our stuff. And so that's why they became the global manufacturing superpower over the last 25 years. China is playing the 1,000-year game. So is Russia. So is Russia. These guys are not playing around, man. And every time we do that, bro, it's a big deal to us. But we need to talk about, yes, this day in history. It's freaking stupid news. Okay, let's not worry about that right now. Can we talk about like the most important thing right now? This day in history. Golden Gate Bridge opens to pedestrians in San Francisco. Yes, today, Golden Gate Bridge. And by the way, I have to give a big shout out to my coach and mentor for the back ride. Her name is Tracy, and Tracy, literally every 10 years does a big cross country, event, because she is diabetic. She was born with type 1 diabetes, and doctors told her she wouldn't live past 20. And because of that, she is every at age 20, she did a big event, and then every 10 years she's done it. And her last big event, she called it Between the Bridges, and it was she biked across America. She started at the Golden Gate Bridge and ended at the Brooklyn Bridge. Took her 3 months to do it. I can't even fathom attempting this bike ride without her amazing support from her and her husband Fred, by the way. And for that first year, they really helped Rebecca out huge. She and I, every single month, would be doing a Zoom call together. She's just amazing. And so it's amazing that today it opened. And by the way, if you just want to get your mind blown, go watch a documentary, or like the making of on YouTube of the Golden Gate Bridge, to see how they engineered the design, the structure, the size of the cables, how they engineered the cables. Bro, it is um, it's a masterpiece. It's a architectural masterpiece. Anytime you see that, it's just amazing, man. What else happened? This day in history, 1660, the Treaty of Copenhagen signed between Sweden and Denmark, Norway, establishing the modern Scandinavian borders. No way. It's amazing to me because you guys know every year, one of the Scandinavian countries get voted for like happiest country in the world. Finland's been like number one many years out, like the last 10 years. But they trade between Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Greenland, all of them. And but it's because how the trust between the government and the people is unlike anything else really in the world. It really is as close to a full transparency model of contentment and trust. You don't really see that anywhere else in the world, and it's neat to see that it started in 1660, this day in history. Which is really cool. You want to know what else happened this day in history? 1941, British Navy sinks the Nazi battleship Bismarck, a decisive World War II turning point at sea. Bro, you want to have your mind melted? Why don't you go read how we got into World War II and some of the conspiracy theories around that? Yeah. Mhm. Let me just say, basically, every reason we go to war is not what government tells the people. It's always a lie, even if it's lies of omission. Always lies designed to motivate um, through propaganda and um, pressure, peer pressure, basically. All right. Birthdays. Cornelius Vanderbilt. This day in history, 1794, bro. The shipping tycoon, the Vanderbilts, man. What is, dude, the one of the greatest experiences that I've had is being able to go and tour the Biltmore Mansion. I did that a couple years ago. And dude, let me tell you something, man. The Biltmore Mansion is unreal. It never finished. It literally was just one of those things where you it just goes forever. And it was funny because we went a few years ago. My sister lives up in that area, and so we went to go visit. And my buddy has a pretty big company, and he's got a plane. David knows who I'm talking about. And so we were flying, and his pilot, he allowed his pilot to bring his wife to have like a workcation. And so we all went to the Vanderbilt or the Biltmore Mansion together. And the next day, the pilot, his name is Adam. He's a goofball, bro. He's like in his mid 30s. And this dude's in the kitchen, and he's like, we're all hanging out, and he's like doing dishes. And he turns around, hey guys, he's like, hey, I was thinking about this the last couple days, after we toured the mansion. He goes, don't you think they could have built a little more? And I freaking roll, bro. You talk about the greatest dad joke in history, bro. That was it. Okay. But Biltmore Mansion, man, that is from this dude. Wild Bill Hicks, this day in history, May freaking 27th. Wild Bill? No way. Henry Kissinger, 1923 US statesman? Oh, no way. Wow. Insane. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. I freaking love. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Okay, okay, okay. I'm just looking at. Shut up. This day in history, the NC-4 completes the first transatlantic flight. So the U.S. Navy Curtiss flying boat, commanded by Albert Reid, arrived in Lisbon, Portugal, via the Azores, completing the first ever transatlantic aerial crossing. For a pilot, this remains a monumental milestone in long-range maneuverable navigation and system tracking logistics. What the heck does this freaking thing look like? Um, I'm going to copy this thing, put it in Google, give me an image of what? No way, bro. It basically looks, you got to be kidding me. Okay, I want you to imagine what you saw from the Wright brothers. Okay, so the Wright brothers. Take the Wright brothers and then take their aircraft and literally glue it to a boat, a canoe. I swear to God, that is exactly what this freaking NC-4 thing looks like. Okay, so the fact that this thing freaking flew across the Atlantic in 1919, basically, just imagine in your mind toothpicks glued together and the whole thing glued to a canoe. Yeah, just imagine that. These guys had balls of steel, bro. I mean, telling you what? No way. Bro, this day in history, the 2006 Yakarta earthquake, dude, I'm pretty sure, wasn't that one that ruptured one of the nuclear plants? Maybe I could be crossing this. But it was a 6.3 earthquake. 6,000 people passed away, man, leaving 1.5 million people homeless. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. 2026, late May, avionics, the aviation, avionics, and weather manifests. What? Oh, God, no. No. Why? Please, Lord, tell me this thing's going to burn past. Okay. Right now, highly volatile spring front transition sweeps across the southern plains. Flight departments and general aviation maintenance facilities are operating under strict pre-summer checklists. Oh God, no. It basically, I don't even know why this. Basically, it's basically saying this day in history, we've got a massive like storm thing that's brewing right now. Which you guys know, I leave Monday for the cross country bike ride, and my route takes me a couple up Oklahoma to Kansas, over to Missouri. Like I basically spend half the trip in the Midwest. Okay, but let's talk about the national days today. Okay, okay. Not bad, not bad. Today is National Cellophane Tape Day. You have got to be kidding. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But it is also National Grape Popsicle Day. We already know who has gold. And you know what's something else that happened yesterday, which was really freaking cool? And by the way, I think this happened yesterday, but Rebecca and I were watching on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it did. Miley freaking Cyrus, dude. This chick gets her like gold star on Hollywood Boulevard. Huge ceremony, man. So like I'm pretty sure that happened yesterday. But why can't we just say that that also happened? And also Hollywood, m- like Miley Cyrus Day. Yes, yes. I almost said Hannah Montana Day, which, by the way, both names are acceptable in my game of Jeopardy. Who is Hannah Montana? Who is Miley Cyrus? Yes, please. And yeah, yeah, I was that nerdy dad who was obsessed with SpongeBob and Hannah Montana. Why? Because my chalupas were also obsessed with SpongeBob and Hannah Montana. And you guys know how this thing works, right? So whatever the kids are into, so are the parents, you know. But what'd you guys think? Uh-huh. Not bad for this day in history, right? Wait until we jump into the juicy news. Now, let me just make sure we understand, okay? You guys know this show is a daily show for us mom and pop venti shops, right? It's our daily 1 hour church service. We need a little bit of encouragement on the way to work. We need to be inspired. We need to be encouraged. We need to learn. We need to laugh. And if I do all of that, which I guarantee I wills, then your job, we have a handshake agreement. By the way, if you were listening to that, that's us shaking hands with rubber gloves. But our agreement is you will like and or subscribe. It's a new channel. I'm 64 episodes in. I am not going to be happy until I surpass Scott Adams, which I believe he has 3,000 live episodes. So, and he also recorded 7 days a week. I do not. Most days it's four, because a lot of times I'm traveling or something else is going on. And so it might take me 15, 20 years, but I will pass my bro because he is, I don't know, a huge encouragement. Now, you guys want to know what it is that we do? You know, we've been doing small business back office accounting for almost 60 years. You want to know what it is that we do and how we do what we do? Go to accountingplusaccountability.com and you'll be able to check it out, see what it is we do, how we do what we do. Um, it's very unique, but we're also one of the few accounting firms not owned by accountants. We're small business owners. So our heartbeat is your heartbeat. We know what you need because we build the firm for us. Pretty easy, right? Just build it for you. Just be a customer of your own product. I don't know. Is that like rocket science? And by the way, can you not just tell the companies that are products use their own products? Okay. While Steve Jobs was alive, Steve Jobs. But I'll give you the number one entrepreneur that absolutely unequivocally, without fail, I guarantee I'll bet my entire lifetime's income that I'll ever make on this one fact. The entrepreneurs and companies that tend to dominate being owner, CEO, or founder. Mhm. Why do you think? Matter of fact, one of the big top banks, the CEO was asked recently because they were complaining about the app, and they asked the CEO, "Use your own app," and he literally said, "Freaking on air, no." Yeah, exactly. This has been one of my biggest beefs for years until the new CEO of Microsoft came in because I was like, Google uses their own stuff. Matter of fact, they have a rule called eating their own dog food. And that was when Excel came out, or they came out with Google Sheets, and nobody in Google was using Google Sheets. They were all using Excel. And they said, look, if we can't build it where we want to use it and we prefer our own stuff, then we're going to kill the project. We have to use it first. And if we enjoy it, then we need to release it to our customers. Microsoft, bro, was not that company until the new CEO. The new CEO, don't you feel? And by the way, this is a feeling. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, it's a feeling. Okay, you know when a company uses their own, the founder CEO uses the product because the amount of changes and updates are so quick. The one person that I'm saying this, and you got one person in mind. Who is it? Who is it? Tell me in the comments. Who is it? Elon Musk. That's right. There is nobody on earth that builds products more for themselves than this dude. I mean, you know that he uses all this stuff. And so what is he's just basically have the greatest resource team on planet Earth. So that's what he does. You know, he just, hey, I got an issue with this. I want it fixed by in the morning. All right, you got it, boss. And literally, between all of his companies, has literally the smartest people on planet Earth to work for him. So his capacity to innovate and to change and to create is unmatched, unrivaled. Anything on planet Earth, anything on planet Earth. I want you to hear what I'm saying. It's that big of a difference, right? Are you guys ready for some juicy news? Juicy news. Juicy news. I know you is. Oh my word, bro. I'm going to start with a little thing here for my boy Dan Martell. Love this dude, man. Saw this on X. Every excuse you protect is a ceiling you're choosing. Oh my God, bro. Nobody is coming to raise it for you. Let me say that again, man. Every excuse you protect is a ceiling you're choosing. Okay. Can we just be real for 2 seconds? When you have a deadline and you get wind the deadline and you've got a project that's due, right? And then you don't get the project done. What do you do? Do you apologize? Do you analyze and figure out what went wrong? Or do you say, I'm doing the best I can. I'm drowning in work. You tell me. I know which one. Okay. Because we all do it. But you understand every single time you do that, you literally just put a ceiling above your head. Because until you can be gut level, honest with yourself and take inventory of yourself, you can't improve. All of us have a glass ceiling. All of us, bro. All of us. Now, I'm telling you, this thing can be broken just like freaking Willy Wonka went to the top of the chocolate factory, bro. It can be broken, but you think that it's concrete and it's not. It's real thin glass. As a matter of fact, it's like movie glass, like where they like do this, blank, and it just shatters. That's your glass ceiling. But you're like this, like you push and you're like almost like a mime, and you put a little bit of resistance. You're like, I can't, I just can't, and it manifests and stuff like this. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Steve Jobs, listen to this. Um, no excuses rule janitor. Okay, listen. So, um, let's see. Let me get the story. I got it right here. Listen to this. When you hear, because Steve Jobs had this amazing thing, I want you to hear what I'm trying to tell you guys, because if you guys can actually hear this, focus, come on, man. Um, no uh, excuses rule uh, story he told to new vice presidents. Okay, so let me see here. One thing separates great leaders from all the rest. One thing. Okay. Steve Jobs expected a lot from himself. He expected a lot from his team. Okay. He told a short story to his employees when they were promoted to vice president. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Do not, this will probably change your life. For some of you, this is going to change your life because some of you guys have not thought about this. And the second you do, this is going to reframe how you see the glass ceiling that you have. Okay. Jobs would tell the VP that if the garbage in his office was not being emptied, Jobs would naturally demand an explanation from the janitor. Well, the lock on the door was changed. The janitor could reasonably respond, and I couldn't get a key. The janitor's response is reasonable. It's an understandable excuse. The janitor can't do his job without a key. As a janitor, he's allowed to have excuses. When you're the janitor, reasons matter, Jobs told his newly minted VPs. Somewhere between the janitor and the CEO, reasons stop mattering. Let me say it again. Somewhere between the janitor and the CEO, excuses don't matter. Reasons stop mattering. Excuses don't matter. In other words, when the employee becomes a vice president, he or she must vacate all excuses for failure. A vice president is responsible for any mistake that happens, and it doesn't matter what you say. No excuses rule of leadership. Okay. Here's what he says. You need parts to complete an order from your vendor is late. You should have made sure commitments were clear. You should have put policies in place. The late shipment may be the vendor's fault, but making sure responsibility, no excuses. Casually, for my flight to Tampa for a speaking gig, the airline makes me check my carry-on bag at the end of the jetway, and then my bag goes to Vegas. I could have packed a backup set of clothes in my backpack, and I could have worn nicer clothes on the plane. Losing my bag may be the airline's fault, but making sure I have the clothes I need is my responsibility. No excuses. Bro, did you hear what I'm saying? This is a lid. Okay. So you have to be real intentional. What he's saying, what Dan is saying, excuse you protect is a ceiling you're choosing. Hear it. All true, man. What else is going on in the news today? Oh, dude. This was a post from Documenting Sailor. Ken Griffin, founder of Citadel, has a $10 plaque behind his desk that reads, "If we're all going to eat, someone has to sell." If we're all going to eat, someone has to sell. You talk about the most fundamental thing that every business must do, protect, innovate, create at all cost, sales and marketing. The most. They're tied in. Well, actually, sales is just a subset of marketing, but they go hand in hand. They're the most important thing. It is the oxygen to every business. That's why the founder, you ever see on Shark Tank, they'll literally ask the dude, "You go out and do you like door knock? Did you make a million phone calls?" "Well, no, I'm like working on this and I'm trying to get this patent." And you're like, "Right. Yeah, you're not a sales guy. You're not a hustler. You have no grit. You don't have the drive. You don't have the stamina. Get gone, playa." They already know. They can tell who can sell or who's got the grit to sell and who doesn't. Okay. Fundamentally, that like makes the deciding factor. You got to sell, man. You got to sell. What else is going on in the news today? Mm. Oh my gosh. Wait until we get to Wasabi Wednesday. You guys are going to freak out. All right. Yes. Okay. And you know, we don't talk about politics at all on the show. We are not red or blue. We are not conservative. We are not liberal. We are not left or right. Right. But when interesting things happen, we talk about on the show. Okay. And we don't try to make anything or try to attach it to a particular side. We just talk about it. Ken Paxton routs incumbent Senator John Cornyn in Texas GOP Senate runoff. So basically, I don't know how. Well, I do know how. It's an insane amount of money. But all the Trump-backed individuals are murdering all their competitors. And we know that happened with Thomas Massey, but Trump-backed Paxton secured a decisive victory over longtime senator in, which obviously was John Cornyn. Unbelievable. Like the biggest political story of the day. But a couple days ago, it was Thomas Massey being overthrown as well by another Trump-backed representative, incumbent, basically, or I guess so. Candidate? I don't know. What else is going on? Now, this affects us, so we talk about it because for us mom pop venti shops, one of the biggest things that's murdering us right now on the daily is what we're being charged for the cost of our supply, our cost of goods. We know that since this amazing war over the Middle East has been going on for the last couple months, the price of gas basically has doubled, which has killed us. As a matter of fact, single-handedly, it is the number one reason why Spirit Airlines went out of business. Spirit Airlines, you have to understand, even the best airlines on the planet operate like on a 1 to 3% profit margin, like literally 1 to 3%. All of their money and value is in their like intangibles, intellectual stuff, their loyalty reward programs, the data they have on their customers, that type of stuff. Like where cruises literally can invent money out of air, airlines cannot do that. They're not even in the same category when it comes to liabilities and expenses, not even the same category. But we got to talk about it though. U.S. conducts new self-defense strikes on Iran while peace talks continue. Bro, when I heard last week where Iran was threatening to cut those data cables, there's like 7 data cables in the Strait of Hormuz, and they transmit like a terabyte of data like every second. It's something insane. And they've got these special subs that we're going to go down and like, like scissor those things. And I was like, bro, do you understand? Every time you guys do this, we're watching everything. Okay. Which means when these damn subs come out from wherever they come out of, because they have all these secret underground sub, we know where they come from. We track that crap. Okay. So we now track where they come out of. And we also have like our own drone subs. And we've got these things flying around the air that have like these really crazy satellite things on them. They can literally see these things in the water. And you're like, guys. Look, you don't even understand who you're playing with. Okay. Just grow a brain. Look, when this dude wants to come in, just whatever. Okay. You can't fight against a machine that big unless you're going to play like guerrilla warfare. But we learned our lesson in Vietnam. So what they want is the ground and pound game, right? Like they want like martial arts, jujitsu stuff. That is not the game we're playing. We're playing the Floyd Mayweather game. Tap, 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 defense, 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 tap, tap, tap. That's the game we're playing. Okay. And they want us on the ground, and it ain't going to happen because we know, right? Oh, bro, check this. Did you guys hear about the dead chemical tank that ruptured at, it was a Washington state paper mill? They said it was a white liquor tank imploded. What does that even mean? We're about to find out. Okay. What ingredient? What is the ingredient in this story? Oh, oh, it actually is called white liquor. It's a highly corrosive chemical mixture composed mainly of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide. Playa, you know what happens when we combine salt with salt. You know what I'm saying? It's used in the craft paper making process to break down wood chips into pulp. No freaking way. You guys know, bro, if you learn or you laugh, you got to like and subscribe. Come on, dude. It's our only agreement we have here. It's request. Okay. My request. Let's see what else is going on in the news. No way, bro. NASA releases new details on plane moon base. What? Agency outlined timelines, international partnerships, and technology for a sustained lunar presence. I kind of don't you guys kind of feel like too little, too late? You had your shot. You blew your wad. You could have done this crap decades ago. You had unlimited money, unlimited resources. When I say resources, I'm talking money and people, unlimited talent, unlimited everything. And you guys sat on your arse and didn't do anything. And you let two dudes, Bezos, who basically is obsessed with penises. When I say that, everything that he does, the smile on Amazon, his rockets, all are like beautifully shaped penises. And you guys know this show is not for kids. But between Bezos and Musk, bro, they let do laps around NASA. Laps. Two individuals. Yes, yes. Okay, yeah. Money drives everything. So yes, they understand that the person that conquers space conquers all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We get it. Okay, cool. But still, don't you think a federal government should have done that first? Do you? No, no. You know what? It's happening, bro. You haven't put this on for a while. Happening. Freaking happening. Moron. Right there. Scarlet letter M. I need to put some more sticky stuff on that stuff. NASA, do better. Do better. Okay. You're going to be in moon base. And while SpaceX, which is about to be public with their IPO, I think they're talking valued, obviously, at least $1 trillion during the IPO. But I think they're even talking about higher valuation, even to the $5 to $7 trillion valuation. Maybe not in its initial IPO, but for sure pretty quickly. But I'm telling you, the ultimate play is if these two companies, which I still believe they will, scissor up, link up, Tesla, SpaceX, one, and basically, it's Tony Stark. Yeah, you know that this dude basically is obsessed with Tony Stark. You know that, right? I mean, you can just see it. It's like from a mile away. His technology, everything. He's obsessed with this dude. By the way, um, what's wrong with that? Because you've got a guy that has basically unlimited access to resources who truthfully, and you can say what you want, but we judge people by not by necessarily by their words, but by their actions. And actions, not words said in private behind closed doors, where we all say stupid stuff. But actions, no, I think this dude wants to be as useful as he possibly can. As a matter of fact, he said countless times it's very difficult to scale and be useful. Trying to colonize space because we know it's not if, but eventually when something big decides to hit us, or poles shift, which they tend to do just from, the last handful of years. We now figure out every 10, 12, 15,000 years, the pole shift. Poles are shifting now. When that happens, massive floods. You can see it. That's why the big arms right now is that Egyptians just basically showed up and the pyramids were already there, because you can already see the erosion on the pyramids. And that is showing 10, 12,000 years ago. Egyptians were 5 or 6,000 years ago. Pyramids were built way before them. The pyramid was built before the flood from 12,000 years ago. Before that, which means the pyramid has to be at least, if that flow was 12,000 years ago, at least 12,000 years. At least. Probably 20, 30,000 years. Probably. Okay. Yeah. Bro. Yeah. What you think that you know is not what you think or know. Okay. It's just not. Dickie Bush, bro. This dude is fire. I love, love, love him on X. My writing system. Listen to this: taking long walks, blocking the internet, transcribing myself talking, capturing ideas everywhere, reading high quality sources, spending time without my phone. Then I write. I've learned that my best writing isn't a result, it's a byproduct. Bro, he's 100% right. He's 100% right. And for me, it's one of the ways I was able to get the book wrapped up. And that's still, fingers crossed, my goal is to basically have everything wrapped up by the end of the week and submitted to Amazon. So by the time I'm on the ride, the book is on Amazon. And you guys know I've been working the last couple of years on a book called The Mama Pop Venti Shop Survival Guide: How to Keep the Seven Plates Spinning. And it basically was sitting for a couple of years, and then literally because of AI and because the ability of prompting and because of I can now talk into devices like Plod or just the voice recorder on my phone or my iPod or iPad. I say iPod. Oh my god, iPad. You can transcribe all that stuff, and it makes it so much easier. So instead of like doing the typing, you just talk it out. Matter of fact, um, one of my favorite books is by a guy named Dean Carnassi called The Ultra Marathon Man. He ran 50 marathons in 50 days in 50 states. And he wrote the book while he was running. Now, do you think he did that because he had a laptop strapped to his chest and as he was running, he was typing? I'm going to say no. I'm going to guess he probably was talking into a recording device. Now, this was years ago, obviously. So let's see. What year did Ultra Marathon Marathon Man by Dean Carnassi? Carnassi comes out. What's it saying? 2005. What year did the iPhone come out? Oh, wait. Okay. So we obviously know we had cell phones and stuff like that. We had tech, but we didn't have anywhere close to what we have now. Okay. And so, but he was just recording to a device, bro. That's technology, man. And Dickie's like, I talk and transcribe, right? However you need to get it done, right? Let's see. Oh, no way, bro. Another fire thing from Dickie. The difference between you and the person you want to become is quite literally 3 to 5 extremely small physical and mental habits. Any personal development time spent outside of retraining, rewiring, and reinforcing these new habits is a complete waste of time. If you let these habits continue to dominate your life unchecked, you'll wake up in 5 years with a painful realization that every other thing that you thought was important was useless because these small items were left unchanged. Dude, and I read this last week on the show, and it was this quote that said, You are not a reflection of your goals, you're a reflection of your habits. You hear me say it every single day. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. What is Dickie talking about? The routine and the consistency of 3 to 5 extremely small physical and mental habits. Bro, everybody says it. Everybody successful all says the same thing, man. They all say the same thing. Okay. Dude, check this out. This was on X by, it was posted by Greg Eisenberg. And someone was at a seminar and they took a picture, top 5 regrets of dying. And this was by Bronnie Ware, an Australian nurse, specific like a hospice nurse. And here's the 5 things. Are you ready? 5 things. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Yeah, this is going to hit some of you guys, man. this most of you guys wake up every day for a dollar bill and you don't even know why you do what you do. And your life has is empty and it is meaningless. And you try to fill the void with a bunch of material shit that doesn't fill anything. And hear me say it all the time. That pleasure crap is a rice cake. It's yeah, okay. It's got some flavor. Tastes pretty good, especially like the freaking like the caramel ones. Yes, they taste great. But there's no substance. And then there's purpose, which is the steak, and we know which one's more fulfilling, right? Um, and well, I'm giving you steak stuff here. Number two, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Every male patient felt they missed their children's youth and partner's companionship. I tell you, man, that was such a big thing for me when I was growing up because I am and have always been obsessed with business. And so when I was a lot younger, in my 20s, um, business was everything, man. I mean, every day, every second, everything was business. But my dad worked his tail off and he had back issues. And so he literally attended no event that I ever had, like none, and blamed it on the chair or whatever it is. And by the way, I'm not saying he was lying or he was wrong. I'm just saying my dad was not at anything that I was as a kid. And, I'm very self aware. And so I know that I'm never going to be the dad that coaches, softball or anything like that, or their soccer or whatever. That's never happening. But my rule was be at every one of my kids' events. And every single time that they're without question, the phone is put away. There is no distraction. It is me locked eyes with my kids, and that was always a big thing for me because what I wanted to make sure that when my kids looked out and saw me, that they knew that my eyes were locked on them. It was such a big deal for me to make sure that my kids knew that Dad was always present at those events when they got a chance to publicly show off. You know what I mean? Number three, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Man, I've always been that dude. And I'll tell you why. Because nobody did that for me. My mom was my number one cheerleader. She really was. Nobody else said anything positive to me. I didn't hear my dad say "I love you" until he had his heart attack in '97, and I think I was 20 years old by then. And so I've just always had a rule of thumb: if I see it, I say it. If I see it, I say it. And you guys know if you're hanging out with me, you hang out with me for more than 5 minutes, you're going to leave feeling better than when we first started talking. And usually you're going to get something positive or a compliment. I'm going to tell you, and it's not because I'm looking for a compliment. It's because if I notice something, if I see something, I will literally audibly say it. It's an important deal to make sure that people know that they are not needed, appreciated, and valued. And I don't feel like enough of us say thank you. Not enough of us operate with the spirit of thanksgiving or gratitude. And so I'm telling you, man, have the courage to be vulnerable and to say, I'm sorry, to say, I feel this when you do this. Game change. Number four, I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. Yeah, but also, don't you think the friends have an obligation to stay in touch with you too? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I had this big revelation in 2018 that, you know, um, I had a lot of relationships where I gave nine, already gave five. Well, that's not fair. Shouldn't there be like two parties involved? Really do anything? What are you supposed to do? Keep doing it? I mean, I don't know. So I think you should have a handful of friends that like your long term like keep dudes like and guys are special like that. Guys have like two or three really really good deep friends and like I'm cool. I got my fam, I got my job, I got my close friends. What else do I need? You know. Number five, I wish that I had let myself be happier. Realized happiness was a choice. That is exactly right because misery only happens through comparison, which means if you're not happy, that means you are not being mindful and you are not in the present moment. Most of the time that you're suffering from the guilt of the past or the anxiety of the possibility of bad outcomes of the future, right? 99% of the time, your present moment right now, you're not in pain. Maybe you are, but you're right now with no thought in a pretty good place. And what this is saying is be a house cat. Okay. Like be a Garfield. We had a fat orange tabby and named Rudy. This dude, bro, was 30 pounds, bro. He was enormous. Like and I'm not even exaggerating, like when he would groom himself, he would like bow over, like he would wedge himself in a corner, like, and then like Jabba the Hutt, and then he would basically kind of like wedge, and he would like try to lick himself. Like this dude, but literally, I mean, this dude could never saw past his stomach, like past like age one. And I'm not kidding, dude. The happiest cat on planet Earth. Like this dude just literally just woke up every day. Other cat was the exact same way. No care in the world. Just woke up happy. Cats live in the present moment. Okay. Be a cat. Be a house cat. Okay. What did you guys think of that freaking news story, bro? I thought, man, when I saw that what Greg posted, I thought it was powerful. Powerful. Let me see if I can move this bookmark to folder and I'll put it in daily biz. Some of these, man, I just have to bookmark for future. Let's see what else is going on in the news today. Okay. Uh-huh. Gas prices. New York Knicks advanced deep into the playoffs, bro. Which is absolutely amazing because I don't think they've been in there. What'd they say? It was for how many years the Knicks have been like iced out? I don't know if this is true. I could be making this up, but I feel like was it 19 years or 29 years? Something crazy. Something crazy. It was nuts like that. Okay. And I was like, huh? I mean, it was a big story. Okay. But also in the news, oil slides back below $100 a barrel. Can we get a amen? Or how about this, playa? This is definitely a two woot victory. That's right. Two woots. I mean, it's a good story, but if I can get gas back to a lot cheaper, that's going to be three woots for sure. But and I wonder if it's because the last week or so we've been talking about that federal government was going to temporarily pause the federal gasoline tax, which I believe is 18.6 cents, I think, and they were going to temporarily pause for an immediate like effect at the gas pump, and maybe that happened. So maybe that happened, but it was $103 last Friday, and so it's under $100 a barrel, which is really, really awesome. And so let's see. Oh, okay, okay, okay. U.S. Census AI adoption in small business up sharply. We talk about this every single week. Business owners every week, more and more and more, more and more and more. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's see here. Uh, okay. Really? Okay. Okay. So check this. Robinson Patman revival, independent retailer tailwind. So the story, antitrust agencies are reviving the Robinson Patman Act with the FTC versus Southern Glazers case, continuing to test whether big buyers get unfair pricing, which we know they do. Pro market analysis how it could protect smaller independents. Bro, we know when the Sherman Trust antitrust laws came out in the 1920s to break up Standard Oil, that was the standard, and we didn't have a monopoly since the 1920s. Okay, so call it almost 100 years because it was already kind of in the process and that passed the 1920s, but around 1900 ish is when everything happened. So around 100 years, and then Microsoft in 1990s was about to be broken up by the FTC as a monopoly. And Microsoft did two things that kept that from happening. Number one, they infused $100 million in Apple and save them because the federal governments love duopolies. They hate monopolies. And so we knew that we couldn't just have a Microsoft, so we had to have an Apple. And so to save Apple and Microsoft's tail, they infused $100 million into there. And then the second thing was they created like-minded industries. So I always call it like Peter Thiel calls it Monopoly 2.0. I call it the lazy river business model. So when you go to like a big water park, they have a lazy river, and the current of the river takes you to all the rides in the park. Same thing with this. So that was all figured out back then. And so you've got this uh, companies today like we have 10 companies worth over $1 trillion. 10, 10. The amount of sub companies and sub companies and sub companies that they all own, and they get the buying power of the blob. And so it's so easy when a $1 billion company buys a company worth $100 million, because even a company worth $100 million was going to the $1 billion company gets better pricing than the company with 100 million, which gets way better pricing than the company that does 10 million, which gets way better pricing than the company that does a million, which does way better pricing than the company that does 100,000. Yes, yes, and yes. That's why this is such a huge deal, right? This is big, man. This is really big. Now, let me just make sure here. Nothing big here. Okay, good, good, good. That was amazing, juicy news for us. You guys know, you want to know what it is we do, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. We do this show every day for our mom and pop venti shops. We need a 1 hour church service of encouragement, inspiration, learn, laugh a little. And if you guys wouldn't mind, this is episode 64. And hopefully, fingers crossed, hundreds and hundreds and eventually thousands and thousands. And the algorithm being consistent, and the algorithm loves it when you guys like and subscribe. So if you guys don't amazing. You have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. I do this show, okay? I have to start my day and with a positive mind frame. I start with a morning mark. I do exactly what you guys do. What I talk to you guys about, I do myself. I'm a big believer in eating my own home cooking, right? But my favorite day of the week is Wasabi Wednesday. Why? Because there is so much gossip and tea. And you guys know, bro, I will play your TMZ reporter for the week. Okay. And when I talk about the Wasabi Wednesday, the tea, and why do you think the color is gray? Because we're talking about gossip and tea, nothing's black and white. Everything is 50 shades of gray. And that is why everything we do, and if you see my daily template I get emailed to me every day with the show template and agenda, it's color coded. So everything is black and white and it's all gray. It's so funny. It knows, bro. This is what I'm saying. AI, I can do this show basically by myself even a year ago the way that I can. But thank you. You know, innovations, efficiencies, AI, it does. Just don't go overboard. But let's talk about it, bro. What's the biggest stories going on, man? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey, the engagement glow tour. Oh, bro. The newly engaged couple was spotted courtside at the Knicks Cavs game in number three, matching double denim, then had a candlelit dinner at Sardiano's in New York City days later. Wedding whispers now point to a private July 3rd NYC ceremony. Taylor skipped the AMAs in Vegas despite 8 nominations. Why? Hold on, let me just find out. Why did Taylor skip? Let's see. Let's see. What does it say? Why did Taylor skip? Let's see. Oh, it said it's in the ceremony. The couple reportedly chose to prioritize their relationship, spend time on dinner dates, and focus on prepping for their upcoming wedding. They basically slept in, ordered a room service, partied outside the sheets and in the sheets. That's what I'm reading that happened here. And it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe there's a different, bigger reason, but look, obviously she's like, yeah, been there, done that. I've said everything I need to say. And plus, I think she's also still getting some like backlash from she lost a lot of fans during the Blake Baldoni, the Lively Baldoni saga. A lot of Swifties left because they saw a different side of her as a mean girl that they'd never seen before, especially when those text messages got released. It changed a lot, and I kind of feel like maybe I don't know. I'm not saying that is it, but that could be a piece of it. Faux show. What else is going on? Jesse Williams and Alejandra Oniva. Please, Lord, tell me I said that right. Oniva. Baby number 3. His first with her. Okay, okay. Grey's Anatomy alum and his wife Alejandra are expecting. Okay, fantastic. What? Josh Jacobs, Packers running back, arrested in Wisconsin? First of all, I thought that like NFL players in their own state had diplomatic immunity. What? Okay, running back Josh Jacobs was arrested Tuesday on 5 charges, including battery, strangulation, and intimidation following a Saturday disturbance. What? Okay. To me, that had to be against a woman. By the way, I'm not accusing. This is my own opinion. So I want to be very, very careful because it didn't say anything about that. But if he got in a fight with a dude, well, here's my question. This is why I'm saying this. Because don't you think that if he got in a fight with a dude and he basically a guy and it was at a bar and he basically punched him and was on top of him, kind of strangling a little bit, and 3 or 4 dudes pulled him off, do you think he would have been arrested? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird to me that it's these charges because if it's just a fight with a dude, I don't think it would have been like this. That's why I'm saying that. Um, I'll ask actually. Let's find out right now. Okay. Uh, who was the fight against? Who was the fight against in this story? Let's see. Uh, Described incident was an alleged domestic violence dispute with charges formally designated as battery domestic abuse. Yep, that's what I thought. That's what I was saying. So again, it wasn't anything that I was saying. I'm just saying when you have charges like that, typically it's against a opposite sex, basically, right? Nothing good nor bad. Just it is what it is. Ray J hospitalized in Vegas after super hot fire KO. Ray J checked into a Las Vegas hospital 2 hours after being knocked out by super hot fire at a celebrity boxing event. He's been in hospital 3 days while doctors check for a concussion. I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. Um, People that get and do boxing or fighting, if you don't do that, people that are like, "Oh, yeah, I could basically take a punch from like a Tyson or I could fight, Floyd Mayweather." These are people that literally have no concept of the level of skill that these people are at because people that are actually pros in their sport who any the worst person, the worst pro in that sport will beat you to a pulp. They what they admire that individual. So that just tells you it's like I remember one time like I was watching Free Solo with Alex Honnold and one of his best friends who's like his accountability rock climbing partner, who's also one of the best climbers in the world. He's like, you don't understand, like um uh, what Alex does, like most people are like they look at it and like, oh, that's impressive. He goes, but we're professional climbers, and you can't even understand what he does, and we're professional climbers. That's what I'm talking about. Like you'd go into the ring with a you're not a boxer. Okay, maybe you scrub, that type of stuff. But to get hit and you get hit in the right spot, like right across the temple, bro, you're not coming out the same. You are not. You are not. Harry Styles and Zoe Kravitz? What? Hold on. Is that Zoe has to be related to Lenny? I'm gonna say it right here. Is Zoe Kravitz, by the way, you guys already know this, related to Lenny Kravitz? I'm gonna say yes. Yes, freaking daughter. Can you even freaking fathom? First of all, I was just talking to my wife about this the other day. Um, there's a couple people that literally do not age. Lenny Kravitz is one of them. This dude does not age, okay? And so literally to have bro, like these two, Lenny's daughter. Can you just imagine like going to hang out with um, you know, your wife, your girlfriend, and you get to hang out with her dad, Lenny Kravitz. What? It'd be like your dad being Prince, like, yeah, we're gonna go hang out, and probably party with Prince or something, like, yeah, we're gonna hang out with Lenny. Like, dude always takes us to dinner. It's like Lenny, Lenny, Lenny. It's a Lenny show, and you're like, do you even hear yourself talk, bro? Like Lenny Kravitz. Okay. Demi Moore steals the Cannes 2026 in a purple gown. She was supposed to be insane, and I don't understand how. Freaking Timothy Chalamet, but this dude has swag. Chalamet and Pete Davidson on the swag scale have like if 10 is the highest, these dudes are like an 11 or a 12. Okay, and it doesn't make any sense, but it's insane the fish they snag. But he's back with Kylie. But also, I kind of feel like it takes a certain type of person to be with one of those gals. And but bro, back on again. Photographed courtside with Kylie at the latest Knicks game again. I'm telling you, man, crazy, right? Dude, I told you, man. Freaking Wasabi Wednesday was fire today, fire. And by the way, there is one story, okay, that I can't wait to tell you about. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna leave you with this spicy nugget. Okay, it is not public yet. So I'm the very first dude to say this publicly. Okay. Now, this is all alleged. Okay. So I'm just telling you, I'm going to tell you what's going on the scene, some tea. I'm going to tell you who's on tour, and I'm going to tell you who I think this is. Okay. It says, which massively successful pop star just fired their entire management team via a 2-sentence text message after catching them all skimming off the merch sales? Keep your eyes on the tour cancellations this weekend. Now, who do you think it is? Well, can I tell you who's on tour right now? Sabrina Carpenter. You might be catching this weekend. Vocal cords are strained. I got the black lung pops from Miss Carpenter. And again, alleged, just rumors. This is not fact. I'm a nobody. Nobody come after me. I am a nobody. But in the end, she is the one right now. But supposedly, her management team basically has been taking off of the merch and not giving it, which is stealing from your boss. So yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. And if that's what's going on, good for her, bro. Peace. Two sentences. You guys have been great. Know what you guys did last summer. Try to log in. You've already been terminated from everything. XOXOXOSC. Like that's probably how this damn thing goes down. Polite, but also I caught you MFers. Like like that type of thing. I would totally get that from her, bro. She has that vibe. Now, I know the show's been blowing your mind, but I know you guys are ready for the daily reframe your brain Scott Adams lesson. My bro, creator of Dilbert, Pops number 3, 100 years from now, we look back and we will call him our modern day oracle. Wrote this book. It was published a year before he passed away. He passed away January 13th of 2026 this year. He actually did his daily podcast every day for 7 days a week since like 2017. Matter of fact, when I do my bike ride for all these years, what I would do is save like a month's worth of episodes and then because they're like an hour long and then watch them on the bike ride. Now I'm going to go back to because I think I started watching in 2017, 2018, but I'm going to go back to the first year or so of shows and start watching from show 1 forward because that first year I didn't catch. But this book will change your life without question. And I just every day just wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling and I flip to a page and I just know that this is relevant to somebody. And listen to this. Taking initiative. Did we not just talk about the Dickie Bush? 3 to 5 small little habits are basically keeping you from your potential, right? Your purpose. In a world of followers, leaders stand out. Take initiative anytime people are around to notice. It won't take that much time. It won't take that much extra work. And it puts you at the top of the promotion list. Years ago, in my banking career, I put together a visual timeline of the bank's mainframe computer lease expirations to make it easier for management to do capital budgeting. My boss chastised me for spending time doing something outside my job description, but I convinced her to show it to the big boss, a senior VP. His feedback was that it was terrific and solved a big problem. He wanted to see more like that. Obviously, the initiative you show must appear valuable, or else it is a waste of time, but you can generally predict what will appear valuable. So here's the normal frame: do what you're told, but a new frame, a new reframe: do what you're not told, but maybe someone should have. Okay. When you take that initiative in front of others, they will trust you are the kind of person who takes care of business when no one is watching. I remember this is years ago, man, because you and I did retirement planning for almost 25 years. And I had years ago, like I had one of our clients. It was like I just always succeeded everywhere I went. And he goes, but I basically kind of lived by 3 basic rules whenever I worked anywhere. He goes, number 1, I always got to work 15 minutes early. Always, no matter what, always early. 2, as soon as I got to work, I go straight to my boss. Hey, good morning. Anything, how's your day? Anything, I can help you with this morning? Nope. Okay, good. And at the end of the day, before they leave, knock, knock, knock. Hey, boss, before I head out, anything you need me to help you wrap up before I jump out today? Cool. All right. High five. See you in the morning, bro. See you in the morning, gal. Right? You check what I'm saying? Right? Okay. Why? Your job when you have management is to help your boss and your employer suffer less. That's your job. Help them suffer less. You are a resource within the organization to help the organization suffer less. So when your mindset is not me, but we, oh my God, was it like a Paris thing? We. Yes. Then you understand this is why you succeed. When you go in with a partnership mindset to your superiors, with the sole purpose of, look, we all win together. What can I do to help you look better for your bosses? Do you see? It's a different mindset, right? It's the mindset of the 10-10 principle. All 10 of us do the job. We're going to get the job done way easier, right? That's what we're talking about here, right? Let's see. Doing what you're told gets you a paycheck. Doing what you're not told, but is useful, gets you promoted. It also prepares you to be an entrepreneur if you want that in your future. I'm telling you, man, one of these greatest stories, one of my close friends growing up was a guy named Chris Cook. And his dad was a high level executive for a AMR, and basically had this idea, took the initiative to write like this program that would save like AMR a lot of money, and literally took it to his boss, and she like poo pooed on it, and then he took it to a higher level, and literally was afraid that the higher boss would retaliate and get him fired. I remember in the family it was a big deal because he was worried he was going to lose his job. What ended up happening is they started a new sub company called Sabre Decision Technologies and made him CEO. Yep. He went in with the mindset of, let me be helpful to the organization. And you don't have to ask me if I see something. Let me just come up with something and let me show it to you and see what you guys. That's what we're talking about here, man. That's it. It is not rocket science, dude. Be helpful, be useful, right? To your customers, listen to them. None of this is rocket science, right? If you guys want to know what it is that we do and how we do what we do, go to accountingplusaccountability.com and you'll be able to see, how we invest, what we do. It's a partnership for us. I spend half my week consulting and coaching our business owners to help them succeed. So, yes, we spend as much time focusing on future profitability as we do on documenting previous transactions. We're really like the only accounting firm that does it. But also, it's because Rebecca and I got railroaded almost 15 years ago by a small business accountant, and it took us years and years and years to climb out of the hole. And we just said, "Look, we know how to do this. We'll build a company for us, and we know what we need." And hopefully, you guys got a lot out of the show. And if you guys did, you guys know. If you guys learned a little or you guys laughed a little, which you always do, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And you guys know everything we talk about on the show. If you think that it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right. You spend every second working in the business, but make sure you guys spend some time working on the business, minding your own business, right? Right? All right, guys. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is, right? What time is it? Oh, it's time to get to work.